There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, Dr. Jace Attorney, at the Yonko table, bringing back the midness that is She-Hulk. We've all been excited to see what the Yonko table has to say about She-Hulk. You may be wondering where we were at the last several episodes. I think we did not cover episode 7 and 6.
7 and 6, yeah.
7 and 6. And there was a reason for that. But both reasons out of our control, and part of them were within our control. We just don't like She-Hulk.
No, don't do that.
I'm kidding.
We're in Florida, people.
Florida people know what's up. They know why we have not been covering She-Hulk these last couple of weeks, but we are here for at least what is considered to be the most important episode of She-Hulk so far. It's the Daredevil episode, and we've all been waiting for it. For better or worse, we've been waiting for eight episodes to see our boy come onto the screen again. We got a lot of different takes on this. I think some of us have more positive opinions on the Daredevil appearance, and some of us have some more negative opinions. But that's the whole point of the Yonko table. We're here to throw out ideas and throw out everything that we have to say about a given scene or a given show. But I, of course, am not alone in this endeavor. You guys heard him here just a couple seconds ago. With me, as always, to stroke the MCU ego is our boy, fellow Yonko Grandmaster, She-Hulk MVP. Are we here for it?
Oh, you sound so excited right now. You sound more excitable than me. There is good and there is bad, and that is what I've been saying about She-Hulk.
You never critique Marvel.
I do. This is a critique. It is not overwhelmingly great, but it is not overwhelmingly disgusting. There is good and there is bad.
In this background, though, you see a green mist
that
illuminating.
That is a fart.
That's like a fart.
Stop. That is a bad image, and you know it. Don't even worry about it. That's not even the same episode.
Is it not?
She doesn't wear that dress this episode.
You're right. Daredevil appeared in the wedding last week. You're right.
The wedding was 2 weeks ago. Last week was the retreat.
I lose track.
Abominations retreat, which I will say was a better introspective episode than the wedding episode. The wedding let me down.
I lose track of all the times She-Hulk has wasted my energy, my time, and but anyways, let's Grandmaster, I'm gonna have to ask you to simmer down a little bit. All right, let's keep a calm head. We're here to talk about episode 8. For a lot of people, this is a really good episode, you know, and for good reason. Okay, episode 8, right? 7 weeks in. She-Hulk, we didn't cover the last 2 episodes. Let's knock them out real quick. Wedding episode, wasn't a fan. Was not a fan of the wedding episode.
Same. I mean, the biggest letdown to the wedding was when Jed started playing It's Electric and they're about to do the fight to the electric slide. And it lasted for 2 seconds. I was very disappointed in that. So yeah, overall, not a fan of the wedding episode either.
Big waste of time, and of course it was a tease because that week we were supposed to be getting the Daredevil episode. Supposedly that was the tease from episode 4, because that's when we saw his outfit in the designers.
From episode 5. From 5.
Was the tease. You're right. 5 was the tease. End of episode 5 was the tease. So from there we got a wedding episode for episode 6. No, get it away from me. Episode 7, that's where we get the therapy again, with Tim Roth as Abomination, Emil Blonsky, and I I was all right with it. It was fine, but it's not what I wanted out of She-Hulk. You keep teasing Daredevil every goddamn week, man. Like, not for me. Maybe earlier in the season, I could have appreciated this episode a lot more, because I don't think She-Hulk should be 9 episodes long. But, you know, the Emil Blonsky episode was not necessarily bad. It's just, okay. All right. It's better than the wedding. It's better than the wedding.
I liked the episode. I thought it was, again, great introspective on Jen and her character. And I liked the side characters who are also at this retreat. I thought they provided good comic relief. Man Bull,
they were
the Matador,
silly.
who's not a Matador.
Right.
But yeah, again, the biggest thing I've been like engrossed with She-Hulk is Jen herself, her character, her learning about, you know, whatever, acceptance. And that's what this was. It was like, yo, we like Jen. We're here for Jen. Not necessarily here for She-Hulk. Crazy how the She-Hulk show has me rooting for Jen more than I care to watch She-Hulk do some She-Hulk action. So
wow, funny how that works.
I really like Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky. Still not. I don't think I'm still buying that he's just good.
Wow, you're still not.
I'm telling you,
you're not team recuperation, team rehabilitation.
I believe it. I also believe there's a rug pull coming with his character, because
you can't rehabilitate this man.
I would hate to have this be it for Abomination. I want to see him as a villain again. I would love to see it.
You want to see character regression?
No, not regression. I just, you know, he can be like a villain, just be this peaceful dude again. I don't know. I don't buy it. But yes, the episode was better, in my opinion, than a lot of the previous episodes. But
okay,
yes, still not. It's good with the bad. This one had more good, but it still had a lot of bad. So here we are, episode 8.
Here we are, episode 8. Let's address the elephant in the room. Daredevil. It's the Daredevil episode. Surprisingly, it's a very Daredevil focused episode. I wasn't even thinking it was going to be an entire episode showcasing him. I thought it was supposed to be like a scene, you know, like,
no, I told you this. He's in the show.
I understand that he's in the show. I didn't expect to see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox as Daredevil, Charlie Cox as Daredevil doing flips and tricks all in one episode. I wasn't expecting Matt Murdock to appear, because, I mean, I get it, right? Matt Murdock is Daredevil. That's not what I'm saying. I expected
in
Daredevil,
lawyer form.
Right. I expected at some point Jen's doing her superhero shenanigans. All of a sudden, bam, ketchup and mustard superhero appears, and it's our boy Daredevil, and he's like, dare I devil this? And then he jumps off the building or something.
He didn't do any of that, thank God.
But go ahead. It looks like you have some thoughts. Thoughts.
I guess, you know, the elephant in the room with Daredevil was how they were going to portray him. Is he going to be his own MCU Daredevil, or is he more of a continuation?
What do you feel?
I feel they're teetering a line. There's a very
they can't help themselves.
They really couldn't. And let me tell you where. So, like, you know, Matt Murdock came on in the courtroom scene. That felt very Matt Murdock.
Yes, that felt authentic. I was here for it. I'm like, yep, Matt Murdock. I'm digging this. Right.
But then
actually wait, that comes with an asterisk though. I liked him coming into the courtroom. I didn't like the courtroom scene that ensued right after that. I hated that. I
felt his courtroom deliverance was really good.
Of course, him being Matt Murdock was good.
But then you lost me when he's lying. Don't ask me how I know.
Oh, we're just arguing back and forth. Oh wait, you use jet fuel in your rocket boots? Oh, Your Honor, please strike that from evidence. No, case dismissed. I'm like, you guys are making such a bastardization of how the field of law and again, I'm not okay. here's my thing with that, right? We've already addressed how She-Hulk is not an authentic courtroom drama, right? We've seen it on screen. It's not like that. The writers have said that they're incompetent to deliver us something like that. It's just not what the show is trying to be. So at this point, I've come to terms with that, right? The problem with this scene is when you bring in someone like Daredevil, right? From his Netflix series, there were very good courtroom scenes. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, it was one-to-one accurate. It was just exactly how a courtroom is held. Like, no, it wasn't. But it was still done very well. For the average viewer, that is gonna be how a courtroom is handled in the Daredevil series. It did it in a very good way. When you take a character from that series and plop them in a courtroom scene that is just making a
courtroom comedy,
making a joke of itself, I immediately just get infuriated because I'm like, this is not what I know Matt Murdock to be capable. Like, it's like you said, the Matt Murdock bits where he's being Matt Murdock are good. I like his Matt Murdock persona. I just didn't like that he had to be Matt Murdock in a garbage scene like this, where there's back and forth between the attorneys. The client of the other side brings out evidence out of freaking nowhere, just out of his ass, and says, I use jet fuel in my boots. And then the judge is looking at that like, wait a minute, that's not, dismissal. I'm sorry. I can't.
You sound so aggravated right now.
Because this is just the beginning of my aggravation. It gets worse as the episode goes on. And again, it's nothing against Matt Murdock.
Yes, Charlie Cox is doing fine.
He's doing fine.
It is literally when you got a crossover, like I can't think of one off the top of my head, but like when you have I don't know, like if Law and Order crosses over with The Office. It's funny to watch a serious character in a comedy setting, but it obviously plays better to the comedic element than it does to that character and their seriousness. So, yes, I think when they started throwing in the comedy bit in the courtroom, then you started to lose me a little bit. And I'm like, so this is where we're going. The bar scene, when they're at the bar, Matt Murdock again gives Jen some helpful advice as far as, interesting position you're in. You can do a lot of good as Jen in the courtroom when the law works.
I like
She-Hulk.
this. I like
right.
this.
It's very Daredevil. There's a very Daredevil line. We heard this in the promo, which is fine. I liked the deliverance here. Do you like their chemistry? Do you like those two?
I can buy it. I'm curious at the thing is, like, I buy their chemistry, but I don't know why Matt Murdock is interested in Jen Walters. Like, because at first I was expecting like some kind of twist, like he knows about the She-Hulk persona and there's like something tied to like, the blood, being drawn from her from an episode or two ago, and then it's being used in some crime syndicate, so he's trying to get close to her. Like, nope. It's none of that. So I'm supposed to buy that he's really into her immediately upon getting to know her. And again, I'm just basing that off of how I know Matt Murdock from the Netflix series, and maybe that's just my problem, because maybe I shouldn't be tying in the Netflix series version of Matt Murdock into this.
That's the thing, is that again, I feel there's only one piece of evidence that supports that it is a continuation.
The theme.
Yeah, so you heard the theme.
Yes, and even with that just, you can sum that up as an Easter egg.
Well, it's played for laughs because it's right. It plays, I'm Daredevil. Oh God, even that deliverance too.
I'm Daredevil.
What? I'm like, what is this? Who are you? You're not Batman. You don't do this.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Daredevil.
What?
You're not even. He's not even in New York at this time.
No, they're not.
He's in California. So, and he's a street level hero. So it's the equivalent of Luke Cage going to like Washington State, and he's like, "Don't you know who I am?" Well, I don't know what something Luke Cage says.
I'm Luke Cage. I don't know.
I'm Luke Cage. Cage smash.
And See, and that I feel was played for laughs there. It's not like they're making a mockery. It's like they want y'all to understand, hey, he is in She-Hulk, which is our comedy. So we're going to make jokes and play it at his expense. Charlie Cox looks like he's having a fun time, no doubt.
I believed it. I believe Charlie Cox was there. I mean, he looked happy in the role, and you can see behind the scenes stuff where he was just happy to be there. He's glad to be back in this character. I'm glad he's back in this character.
I'm glad he's back too. I'm just a tad indifferent just on, obviously I don't think the Daredevil Born Again show is gonna be like this portrayal here.
Oh goodness.
I really hope not.
I don't know.
But I even have gripes with some of the action bits. So when he comes on the scene as Daredevil, it's basically him versus She-Hulk.
Right.
I do not recall the original Daredevil show using that much CGI.
It never did.
I
won't say it never did, but not to that extent.
Though. But she's CGI though, so it's like I guess you have to, maybe. But it was very CGI heavy.
I think they wanted to sell. I feel like with this version of Daredevil in the MCU, they're trying to they're trying to do it in a way where they're trying to make it as comic accurate as possible. I actually rewatched a couple scenes, a couple seasons ago with Daredevil, like the original Netflix series. The combat's really good. Combat's really good in the original Netflix series.
Oh yes, super.
But it's more. It's kind of like
Is it Batman-esque?
Yes, I was literally gonna say that. I was gonna say Batman-esque, almost like Chris Nolan style of Batman.
I would say yes.
Okay,
very shadow, kind of in the shadows a lot.
Very shadow, very like.
Yeah.
Like you're blocking, you're punching. But in the comics, Daredevil is very agile, like very, very agile. So it's, I wouldn't say on the level of Spider-Man, but the guy can do flips. All right. He can
no doubt.
Jump around and do a bunch of crazy stuff. So it's one of those things where you didn't get a lot of that in the Netflix series. You just kind of got like more of the brute force and the combat prowess of Daredevil. You got some agility in there. Like he is doing flips and stuff occasionally. But I think the MCU wanted to portray Daredevil in this universe as like this guy can get around. Because you saw that scene where like you said, it was CG where he's like beating on She-Hulk, and then he finally says that stupid line. He's like, looks like my ass is unbeaten. And then he just
my ass is not whooped. My ass is not whooped.
My ass is not whooped. I'm gonna whoop that ass later.
Whoa.
So he jumps off the roof, and he just does these insane flips, and like the way he parkours down to the bottom floor. Like, aside from it clearly being CG, you were never gonna get that in the Netflix series. You never got that. If anything, the Netflix series would show him just, I don't know, like just jumping off the side and then just slamming onto the hood of a car, like a superhero style or something. I don't know.
It seems they're setting him up to be able to be put on screen next to Spider-Man, who
that would be nice.
That a lot nice. CGI, but right. Also very agilic, and just it seems they're like, okay, hey, we know what you like, because we did get some of the classic kind of Batman-esque, kind of the iconic Daredevil hallway scene. We got a very, very tidbit of it.
I have something to say about that. Because the show has not earned the right to even dare. See what I did there? Dare.
Terrible.
Okay. So before I get to that part, very quickly, the plot of this is that She-Hulk, she's defending this guy who's titled as Leapfrog. He's I'm surprised he doesn't have like a children's like
the leapfrog pad.
The leapfrog pad.
Yeah.
The books,
learning.
The learning tablets.
Right.
So I'm surprised there was no reference to that, but you know, Leapfrog's trying to be his own hero. He has his own catchphrase, ribbit and rip it. It's kind of funny.
That was funny. Yeah.
It was funny. But then his main problem is he's not a good superhero. He's actually really terrible. And his costume is designed, of course, by the same designer that designed Jen's She-Hulk costume.
Yes.
But it turns out he put jet fuel inside of like his rocket boots. It malfunctioned, and now his costume is ass. Like it ends up, you know, malfunctioning, and that's what kicks off the courtroom drama where Jen is defending him for manufacturer defect, and then Matt Murdock is representing the designer.
Luke Jacobson.
We gotta
know his name. He's been here twice now.
He's been twice in 8 episodes.
Or 3 times maybe. Twice. Yeah, twice.
Luke Jacobson. Matt Murdock is defending Luke Jacobson. He ends up defending Luke Jacobson successfully, and that's what gets Leapfrog's case dismissed. As a result of that, Leapfrog goes out of his way to kidnap the designer Luke Jacobson to just make all these weird new design contraptions for him, like dart frog darts and for poison, and he's like, oh yeah, do this and that because I captured you.
He wants to give his squad the colors too. The Leap Squad, I think he wants to call them.
And they're considered goons in this version. And again, the parts with Matt Murdock were really nice. He's like, oh, there's a big difference between goons and henchmen. Goons, henchmen believe in the cause. Goons are here
for the money. Yeah.
Right. I'm listening to him talk, and like I feel like if I close my eyes, I'm like, this could be like a season 4 of Daredevil. Oh, like this is just him talking.
Yes,
like
it's very nostalgic to hear him just deliver lines, period. It's very nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks like he has like all the necessary abilities from the Netflix series. Like he has, I sense like 12 heartbeats or 15 heartbeats, 2 in the front, 8 in the back, 5 taking a dump in the bathroom. He hears everyone, and he has some quips back and forth. He's like, I think Jen asked him, is it like echolocation? And he's like, yes, exactly.
He's like, I have really good hearing. Yes. And she's like, that's insane. You can't hear all those. And he's like, I can hear your heartbeat.
Why are you beating faster?
Right.
Baka. And she just, oh my god, it's funny. Their chemistry together was nice. It was
their chemistry is good. I think you put Charlie Cox with any of these guys, I think he'll be all right. I think
he's carrying them.
I think he can hold his own. I mean, the last we saw him was in that brief stint in No Way Home. He was good there too.
Well, here he was just as Matt Murdock in No Way Home, right?
Correct.
Okay, right. So he was only there as Matt Murdock. This is him as Daredevil proper. No explanation as to why he donned like a new color scheme.
Luke. It was Luke. It was just Luke design.
Okay. It was like a designer preference,
designer's choice. Because when she made the comment about that's a very daring choice to base your colors off of ketchup and mustard. He's like, should I tell Luke you said that? And she's like, no. Because she still wants to be in good favor with him. So it just sounds, I mean, I guess that works. I mean, I don't think in the original series he sent Melvin, who made his suit. I don't think he sent Melvin, hey, I want a red color scheme or anything,
Oh yeah, he kind of just said I wanted a suit. But he knew he was the Devils of Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, he had the nickname correct. He had the nickname of the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. So
right,
hence the look. So looks like Luke just as well, just added his own flair.
Okay,
I guess.
And I mean, it's the classic design. It's like, all right,
I'm glad it's not overly classic. So like, it's not the whole arm is yellow. You know,
Oh, it's not.
like
Okay.
it's really the biceps and triceps that are yellow.
Okay.
And the rest is kind of like a red gauntlet.
Okay. I can buy that. It doesn't look too campy, but at the same time it pays homage to like what the actual costume looked like. It's
and then the helmet too has shades of yellow on it as well. So
right. It's not like Jessica Jones, who was so afraid to acknowledge Hellcat wears a yellow spandex outfit and cat ears,
or the fact that the Purple Man is actually purple.
Yes. No, let's just give him a suit. That'll get the point across.
Jessica.
Holly.
So
oh my god,
it's nice. I think the suit works. I was skeptical about the suit. It's fine. I would like to see it more. I need to see it more, but I'm okay with it now. I mean, the lighting for like majority of the time, the suit is here. We only get the suit in lighting at the very end of the episode.
Right. He's
the
walking
walk of
home.
shame.
The walk of shame from Pound Town.
Okay, so now I have something to say about that, but I guess we'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it. So, you know, She-Hulk and Daredevil, they decide to work together to basically save Luke Jacobson, who is being captured by Leapfrog. This is where the episode starts to lose me just a little bit. And it just outright like gets me infuriated in the middle of this. So exactly what happens. Daredevil decides, hey, let me handle it. I can do it on my own. I've been in the game a lot longer than you. And again, some hints. Marvel is very careful at saying what they're going to acknowledge as to what is carrying on from the Netflix series. Both on screen and off screen. You can't find me a single interview, a single line from anywhere. And I'm talking to the people that are listening to us because I know people are going to be like, well, actually, didn't you see that? No, you can't show me a single line where either Kevin Feige, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, you can't give me a single bit of interview dialogue where they say, yes, this version of Matt Murdock takes place at the end of season 3 after he beat the ever-living crap out of Wilson Fisk in his apartment. It picks up directly. You can't find me anything. No,
you're right.
They give us these very vague and careful responses saying like, yes, this is the same Wilson Fisk, but they're very careful with it. I still am hesitant to believe until the actual Daredevil show, Born Again, comes back, or not comes back, airs, debuts. I don't think Disney's going to acknowledge the Netflix series having been a thing. That's my personal take because they haven't convinced me yet. They haven't done enough to convince me. But you get scenes like this where he's saying, "Oh, I've done this a long time." So in your head, you're like, "Oh, well, yeah, season 1 through 3 of Daredevil. That must be what he's referencing." Might not be. He could have just been in the game for a long time. We already saw his origin story. We don't need to get a new one.
They're being very particular, very vague. Even with Vincent and Hawkeye, I mean, he doesn't make any references to Hell's Kitchen. He doesn't make any references to Daredevil. They're playing it very close to chest. It is, I guess it's all right. They're going to obviously pick and choose bits of continuity that they want to continue with.
Right.
But overall, right. I don't see this being a direct continuation of the series.
It's as and I think they've even said this in their own words. It's going to be a soft reboot of.
Oh, did they say that?
I recall them saying that to some degree about the actual show or the characters, like something like that. It was like a soft. I need to look up the line again. I'll probably look it up like as we're talking about this. But it was something along those lines where because they said that, you can interpret it in a lot of ways because, you know, what is defined as a soft reboot. But either way, that I haven't even gotten to the part that I have a problem with. This is the part that I have a problem with in this scene. So Daredevil, he's basically saying, I will handle the goons. You stay here because I've been in the game a long time. So Daredevil goes in, and I like this part. he's in a hallway. Ooh.
They put him in a hallway. They did it on purpose.
They put him in a hallway, and he starts like, doing some cool flips and tricks. With
the Billy Club. He's got his Billy Club.
He's got the Billy Club. And just to confirm, he had those before in the Netflix series, but were they ever like the chain ones that like extended, or were they they were before?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe he gets a basic one in season 1 at the very end.
I remember that, right?
And then I believe Melvin upgrades it to do the whole kind of grappling hook type of thing. And then he can, twirl it around. But by season 3, he loses it to Bullseye has it.
Right.
Okay. Actually, I don't even think Bullseye's using it. I think he's using it, but not like
the chain style.
Right.
Because it looks, yeah. So it's nice to see that again in the series.
Yeah, no. I want you to go ahead and say the thing you didn't like, because I liked.
You probably have an idea of what it is.
No, I maybe.
It's right here. It's literally right.
Well, did you like the choreo? Did you like the hallway choreo? The bits that were going on there?
I mean, it was very quick. It was just.
They didn't want to overdo it.
They didn't want to overdo it. Like, again, I liked what was there, but compared to what I've gotten before with Daredevil,
obviously,
it's just it was too little. It was too little. I wanted more.
It's a tease.
It's a tease. Again, it's not his show. It's not. I'm sure he'll go bananas in his Born Again TV series. But like right now, what he gave us, it's like, all right, it's a tease, but I had to wait 8 episodes for this. That is my problem. But that's my problem with what was good. Now, let me tell you what was bad about what happened after this, right? So immediately after this scene, and I went back to confirm, and this is how they did these type of scenes. Immediately after Daredevil takes out those first wave of goons, it gets quiet. It gets quiet a little bit, like for a good couple seconds. And Daredevil's kind of like turning around a little bit. And then you see at the end of the hallway, you see like 5 goons like come in. And there's kind of like this back and forth of like them looking like at each other, like trying to gauge the situation. Like, ooh, what 1v6? Okay, ooh. And then it starts building up, and then Daredevil starts walking up to him. Do you want to know what they were hinting at with these scenes? Come on. They were paying homage, quotation marks, to the hallway scenes.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no, I got major hallway scene vibes. Yes.
My problem with it is obviously it doesn't happen.
Yes.
Because She-Hulk smashes through the ceiling. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was so infuriated because at this point, She-Hulk is, they know what they're doing with a scene like that, because they know seasons 1 through 3 of Daredevil all had a hallway scene. Might not have been exactly in a hallway in every season, but they had a scene where it was
a one-shot scene. Yeah.
Right. Where it was strictly, choreographed and a lot of like hand-to-hand combat going on. And it would usually be one character versus a small militia, a small army. And that fight would ensue. But in here, they know what they're doing because they were setting it up. They're in a hallway. Daredevil's on the other side. They have 5 or 7 goons come in. They're ready to start fighting, and they start heading towards each other. Then the comedy bit, She-Hulk smashes in through the ceiling. My problem with this is that She-Hulk has not earned the right to be funny in this scenario where they can tease a hallway scene. They can absolutely not.
What can you? But it's She-Hulk's show.
You never critique Marvel.
I am critiquing Marvel, but you also need to understand this is a comedy, and you have to take a step back and understand they're not going to give you every ounce of Daredevil that you want.
Oh,
they know you want the hallway scene.
That's fine. Don't show me this scene. Just don't show me the scene. Don't show me the scene. Don't show it to me.
I think that's funny. I think them purposely teasing you with like they played the Daredevil theme, you know, Matt's doing his thing.
I thought it was kind of funny.
And then they did some good action bits, and then they said, that's it. That's all we're giving you.
I don't think She-Hulk has earned the right. Here's the thing. I think I could be on your level with this, on it being like as a tease, as funny as you said, if this happened way earlier. If this happened episode 4, episode 5, She-Hulk does not need to be 9 episodes. We've waited 8 episodes. That's the problem. 8 episodes of mid.
You waited 8 episodes for Daredevil.
So let me get this straight. You enjoyed every ounce of oh, I almost said it. Daredevil. Did you enjoy every ounce of She-Hulk?
I didn't say that, but I also knew I cannot allow the appearance of Daredevil dictate how I view this show. I knew he was coming, but I watched every episode just watching it for the She-Hulk. And like I've always been saying, there's some parts good, a lot of parts bad. But I have not been waiting for Matt Murdock to show up and just like take the reins and be like, I got this. This is my show now. He's a special guest star, and he felt like a special guest star.
Listen, I wasn't expecting him to just all of a sudden slap his logo on the She-Hulk attorney at law bit. I wasn't expecting, like, at the beginning of the episode where they show her logo, I wasn't expecting to hear all of a sudden do 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 do.
They could have. That would have been funny.
That would have been funny. It would, but I wasn't expecting that because, again, like you said, it is not his show. My problem with this is that She-Hulk likes to take jabs at self-referential humor.
Sure.
Where they reference itself to poke fun at itself so that you can laugh along with them instead of at them. So, like, for example, the episode that we didn't cover, episode 6, the wedding episode. That episode in the beginning, Jen Walters says, oh my, like, fourth wall breaking. Oh my God, a wedding episode. You were probably expecting Daredevil this week, but we're not doing that. It might seem like a waste of time, but we're just going to actually, just cover a wedding bit. If you think it's a waste of time, it's because it is. That is not funny. If I am laughing at you, I'm not laughing with you. I'm laughing at you, at how ridiculous. She-Hulk did not earn the badge to make self-referential humor in that instance. It still did not earn the badge to make self-referential humor in this instant. You don't take a scene like that, a hallway scene of Daredevil, Hulk smashes him from the ceiling. Oops, you can't get that this week. You're gonna have to wait a year for Born Again. Thanks for watching 8 episodes. 2 months of She-Hulk. They can't do that.
I think they can, and they know what they're doing. But whether you find it funny or not, I mean, it's not a show. That's what it comes down to. They're not gonna. They know what you want. They know what you want. They're not gonna give it to you.
Dr. Mondo, when he listens to this and he gets to this part, he is going to have a field day. A field day. Let me mark the timestamp so that Dr. Mondo can go straight.
It's very simple. Point. It's not about critiquing. I understand what you want, but they're not going to give it to you. That's it. That's it. It's not his show. You want a hallway scene? Go rewatch Daredevil.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
Again, what they did give us of him, I enjoyed, and I'm
all right.
I guess from a writer's perspective, you have to redirect back to She-Hulk.
Correct. You have to if they have to redirect us back to mid, I mean they have to. It's a She-Hulk show. So we have to come back to where it all started, where we all enjoyed the last 8 weeks. But either way, you know, this fight scene ensues. They beat the crap out of the goons. They save Luke Jacobson, and Leapfrog is, you know, put out of commission. Leapfrog jumps out of the window and breaks his legs. A lot of characters been jumping out of windows these last several episodes. That Immortal guy, Mr. Immortal, he jumped out a window. And funny enough, people started memeing that last week.
Oh my god, that's a terrible meme.
That's they're like, you watch episode 7 of She-Hulk and realize Daredevil's not in it, and then it's just the clip of Mr. Immortal.
That is terrible. That is so bad.
But aside from that, you know, you get the scene where Jen and Matt Murdock, they're sitting on top of the Leapfrog sign. And lily pad. And they're kind of having their, you know, their heart to heart, their bonding moment. Was this the segment that you had a problem with, or was it what it led to?
No, I don't have a problem with this. I mean,
I thought there was something that you said you had an issue with when it came to Jen and Matt.
No, I have an issue with the Walk of Shame.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So Jen and Matt,
which again, I didn't feel that was forced. I didn't feel that was forced.
Okay.
You know, I like them together actually.
Right.
But also Matt Murdock, is he not a womanizer? Right? Like he got with Karen. He got with Elektra. He gets with.
Did he get with Karen in the show?
Yeah,
I know in the comics he does, but I thought that was something where it was hinted at. No, I thought he got really close to Karen, but he never initiated.
He got with Karen. He got with
Karen.
Rosario Dawson.
I remember Rosario Dawson. He got with Rosario Dawson. He got with Elektra.
Yeah, that's about it. But like,
yeah. He's a very charming individual.
I don't know if womanizer is the right word.
He's charming. He's charming.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think it'll be anything. You know, I doubt we'll see She-Hulk. I mean, maybe She-Hulk could appear in Daredevil Born Again, but I don't think they're really trying to do anything. It's just a win. It was a win for Jen because he likes Jen.
He likes Jen. He did not say, can you Hulk out for me?
Right.
During.
He also, well, you know, funny enough, he's blind. He can't even see
She-Hulk. So look at that. He just liked the personality.
Wow.
Unless he has the Ben Affleck echolocation.
Well, it didn't rain. So
goodness.
But goodness, I mean, maybe that is a detriment because he's blind. He can't actually see Jen. Well, I guess that means he does. He likes the
character Jen.
Right. That's good. Okay, so the Walk of Shame the next morning. My problem with it is that is your forced Marvel comedy. I feel
Matt Murdock would not be walking as Daredevil in the broad daylight.
No, absolutely not.
I agree. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not like oh, they ruined Daredevil, but
it was funny. It was a funny scene. Like, it's just
funny conceptually.
Right.
It was like the wrong character to do that with. The wrong
character. Yeah, this was not it. Like, and I'm torn between it because I did find that scene funny. It was funny seeing him just walking barefoot and you know, he's got his little booties on the side, and he walks past an old lady and a dog saying good morning. And he just keeps walking. But Dr. Mondo will be infuriated by this scene.
I'm sure he was. I mean, I'm not infuriated. But yes, I do feel that's out of character. And those guys on TikTok the Brooks boys. I feel that's kind of they're the ones. Tony Stark.
Okay, yeah.
Built it with a box of scraps. Those guys. I feel that's the kind of comedy they thought Disney Plus would bring to Daredevil.
Really?
Yes, like this type of stuff. Yes.
Like the TikTok people?
The Brooks boys.
What are you saying? What are you
they
saying?
called that Disney Plus would do this type of comedy. With Daredevil. I mean, they went a little more extremes saying stuff.
Yeah, theirs was funny. What was theirs?
Well, they just say, like you said, it's like, dare I do like
yes.
Like
don't hurt my client. Dare I?
And so it does. I mean, because we don't really know what Daredevil Born Again is gonna be, but I doubt it'll be a comedy, but I just worry about kind of what does this mean moving forward. Are we gonna get this Matt Murdock, or are they gonna give us another iteration of their version of Matt Murdock that is not a continuation of the Netflix series?
Right. Because the question comes again, which it's like you said, what version of Matt Murdock is this? Is this a continuation of the character from the Netflix series, because I don't know about you, this version of Matt Murdock seemed very happy, very
it doesn't seem like that. You will never see her again. Did not sound like that version. Like, not in the slightest.
He went through a lot in the Netflix series, and it's one of those things where, assuming it's a continuation of that, has just so much time passed from season 3 of Daredevil Netflix that Matt Murdock right now is in a good place. Like, he's happy. He has his own law firm with likely Foggy, right?
No, I imagine Foggy, yeah.
They didn't drop a name, Nelson and Murdoch. They didn't drop it, but
he does have his practice. You're right.
He does have his practice. And it's like everything seems okay. It seems like life is going well for Matt Murdock, and maybe that's why he can do a scene where he's walking the shame, waddling back and forth home, and it's like, I would not have done this in seasons 1 through 3, but I'm just so happy now. I got to Hulk smash She-Hulk and just go about my day. Just go about my day.
Right.
But Jen was happy. Matt was happy. They all came out happy.
Yes.
From this. That is until, the end of the episode.
Where, it's still going.
It's still going. Yeah.
That was a funny. I mean, I don't.
Has it earned it? That's what you need to ask.
It's not that it hasn't earned it, but again, when I think of fourth wall breaks, I really think of like freaking Saved by the Bell, if anything.
Or Zach Morris. Declassified.
Oh, that's not fourth wall. That's the gimmick of the whole show. He gives tips. I don't know. It's just like they're leaning too much on the fourth wall. I don't know. Like, I like when Jen's like, "Who's this asshole?" when Matt comes on.
Oh yeah,
into the courtroom. I like fourth wall breaks like that. This one, I don't need you to directly be like, "Oh, it's still going." Why can't we just watch it?
I think I would have just been fine. Like, I didn't expect the episode to be over at this point.
I mean, I thought it was going to be over. However, if you just keep going, I'm okay with it. Keep going.
Right.
This is just like the epilogue to the episode and sets up the finale.
Which is, she goes to the gala, which has been hinted at throughout the season. She gets to wear her great dress as She-Hulk that Luke Jacobson made for her. And she attends for best female lawyer or female lawyer of the year?
Which is an award she shares with other female lawyers.
And this announcer guy was giving like so many misogynistic quips. Like, he was saying, what was it, like female lawyers, just like real lawyers, but everything backwards. Or something. Something's
terrible like that.
And then, he kept going with it. He would say one thing, and then he followed up with another.
But then he goes up to Mallory, who also won, and was like, what is it like to be a female lawyer? And she says, I think she says, it's just like being a male lawyer, except people ask you, what is it like to be a female lawyer?
Oh.
And it's just obviously misogynistic. Obviously, it's like a joke. So
right.
But yeah, this event takes a hard left.
It got kind of dark a little bit.
Super dark. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That hate She-Hulk page.
Right. The I don't know what I
forget the name of it. Yeah.
Incel. I was gonna say incel. Well, I mean they are incels, the people that are like hating on her on the Reddit forum. They're just being weird. But starts with an I. I don't remember it, but yeah, they're hating on her, and then they like hack into the feed at the award show, and oh my god, like that's just so embarrassing. They just showcase like what her entire personal life, like her everything. They showed her having sex with that guy, right?
Yes,
the one that stole her blood.
Yes, him. I forget his name. Jason. That's not his name.
I don't remember.
Yes, they show that footage, and then
that was very hurt. I kind of felt bad for her. Like that,
I felt
that
bad
like,
for her too.
Yeah.
Josh.
It was a J.
Yeah. So yeah, and she loses control of her anger.
Right.
And she's hulking. She's like,
like
hulking.
Bruce? Yeah.
Yeah, like Bruce.
Like OG Bruce. OG
Bruce, right. Yeah, I mean, I feel she has every right to be upset.
Of course, yeah. She was like, "Oh my god, like what's going on here?" And like her parents are there.
Right.
Like just these are her colleagues that are there as well. I mean, this is an award show to showcase like professionalism for her profession, and she's being embarrassed like publicly like this, and she rightfully gets extremely upset, and hulks out. She punches, like she just loses it, and then she sees that weird dude across, like videotaping it. Like,
oh my gosh, the specimen guy who calls her specimen, right?
Was that him?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I don't think they ever pulled off his mask. I think he always had his mask up.
Oh, it was just some random guy. Right.
Yeah, we do see the specimen guy earlier in the episode.
Yes.
Like he tries to go on a date with She-Hulk, and she's like, no, goodbye. And then she leaves. But immediately within seconds, is that damage control that shows up?
It was damage control.
Okay. You see,
yeah.
The parts without Daredevil take this away, man. How was damage control on the scene? Immediately, within minutes.
I guess they were there, or no, they probably, did a whole. Like
they knew She-Hulk was gonna be at the event. They're like, just in case.
Well, the Intelligentsia, that's the name of the group.
Intelligentsia. Oh, maybe they contacted them ahead of time.
Yeah, they totally set it up for sure.
I want them to tell me that. I want the show to tell me that first.
I mean, I'm sure they're gonna reveal it next episode, but I don't know the end game here. I really don't.
Get She-Hulk thrown away, because the more I think about it, like, isn't Jen? Well, because Natasha's no longer around, but Jen's the only public female superhero, right?
No, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel's public.
Well, she's like galactic though. Like they can't mess with her.
Oh, I mean, they can't pin her down. I'm sure.
Right. So I'm guessing maybe. Again,
Wanda is public.
Wanda's dead.
She is not dead.
Wanda's evil.
The point is, she's public. They know her.
Either way, they can't mess with her. Wanda.
Yeah, no, I guess that's it for female superheroes.
I'm just waiting for the plot reveal. For it to be something like, we just, we're a bunch of people that hate female superheroes, so we just want to get rid of them. So this was our method to throw Jen into prison, so that. The Tony Stark built us in a lab are the only people that can be superheroes. I'm waiting for something dumb like that. I'm waiting for something dumb like that. I feel like they cannot reveal something huge in the final episode, because at that point it's like, why couldn't you give this to me 8 episodes before?
Well, they can reveal something huge, but yes, the previous episodes and the setup is really not there to reveal something this big. We've only gotten maybe like 3 episodes, unless Titania's tied to it all, unless unless every episode actually ties back to this bigger thing, which would be convoluted at that point.
Right.
The buildup really hasn't been there, and that I feel would not feel deserved for some grand reveal. Like, God forbid the leader shows up, I would be like, there's no way in hell.
I know we were hinting at it like early on. I feel like they can't do it. I don't feel like they could do the leader reveal.
We know he's coming for
we know he's
Captain
a thing.
America.
We know he's a thing. He's coming for Captain America and the New World Order movie. But we predicted that first. We predicted that first, so we called it first.
Talking about, could this lead into that?
Oh, like he makes his, like, I guess, first debut here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, do you want that though?
I mean,
like, right now, do you want that?
It's not that I want it. It just wouldn't feel deserved, because that story would have been a much better kind of in the background story to highlight more at the end of each of these episodes. Yet they didn't do that.
Like breadcrumbs. Like,
yes,
kind
breadcrumbs. Yes.
Lead into, okay, do you think it's this person? Oh, it's not really them, but you get a little bit more clues as to who it can be. I miss the days where we could like micro observe like every little thing in a MCU project and try to predict what's going to happen. I feel like with a lot of these shows, they have not been doing that a lot.
Well, to their credit and some not, like, for example, Moon Knight was fun to do because it's very condensed and it's its own thing. Right. You try to do it with Miss Marvel and then you get nothing from it, as far as they just take you in another direction. Same thing here. Wanda was fun because there probably are bigger implications in WandaVision, but
right.
Yeah, here it just doesn't feel like they've been doing that. So if they drop a bomb on us during the finale, I'll be like, it just doesn't feel right.
Right.
But Hawkeye did it good too with the Kingpin.
Did what?
The breadcrumbs to the Kingpin. Like, we were guessing.
Yes. Okay. See, like that was fun. That was fun to do week to week, because we would see little hints. We would see like references for relationship between characters. Like, I remember calling it when Echo as a kid. Yes. Oh my God. I like that. Breadcrumbs. Keep me invested, so I look forward to every week of the show. She-Hulk hasn't been doing that. We have the finale next week. And it's going to come down to, did I enjoy it? Right at the bottom of my MCU television series tier list is Miss Marvel. Is this going to be worse than Miss Marvel? I don't know. Miss Marvel had the decency to be 6 episodes long. She-Hulk wanted to stick around for 9. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Any other like final thoughts, like so about the episode, or what you need in this finale coming in next week?
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think this was a better episode of She-Hulk, and that's predominantly
and
thanks.
Why is that?
It's predominantly thanks to Matt.
Wow.
And Daredevil.
Wow.
But again, I still enjoyed Jen's little arc here, as far as, I don't know, just falling for this guy who accepts her and also shows her, to kind of, embrace the superhero-ness of She-Hulk, but also, she's still coming off of that retreat, and she's still, Team Jen. I felt that here.
Right.
So, but still some bad for sure.
I don't even know how Jen was able to find out where Leapfrog was. She just appeared out of nowhere.
Oh, when he was when Daredevil was on the car?
When Daredevil was on the car, he called Jen.
Actually, yeah, I guess
he's like, I'm at Leapfrog, and she's like, well, how am I supposed to know where that is? And then he's like, it's my secret lair, and that's the last bit of information he gave her before all of a sudden Jen appears in a random parking lot and saves him.
But you're right.
Again, you're nostalgia blinded by our boy Charlie Cox.
I thought there was, I don't know. I didn't even think about it. Yeah,
it was not a good episode, but it had good moments.
It was enjoyable. You can definitely enjoy this episode more than the other episodes.
Yes.
I
just didn't want to have to wait 8 episodes to do that.
Well, you got it.
Got it. I finally got it.
Yeah.
Where there you have it, folks. There is the Yonko Table's take on episode 8 of She-Hulk. We still have episode 9 coming a ways in practically a week. It's going to be the finale of She-Hulk, and we'll likely cover it to just give our final thoughts on the series, how it ends, if there's a lead into any other Marvel property, we'll see, and just what we thought of the show overall. I think you have a pretty damn good idea how we think so far. You know how I feel about the show. I don't think it's gonna change much until next week, but you never know. They might pull goodness, a low-key season finale. They might pull something insane.
That's tough. That's so tough, but
that is tough.
They could.
They very well could. You never ever know. But let us know what your all thoughts are. What do you think about this episode of She-Hulk? What do you think of Charlie Cox's return as Matt Murdock and Daredevil? We got him before in No Way Home, just as a brief cameo as Peter Parker's lawyer. But this is Charlie Cox back proper. He's doing his flips and tricks, and he says his lines like, "Dare I devil the may cry again?" And then he jumps backwards. We get all of it. He gets all his quirks back. Dr. Mondo, I hope you're listening to this. I'm sure you enjoyed this episode of She-Hulk. I know he did. But let us know your thoughts, folks. Share us around. Give us a like. And follow us on social media wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, at the Yonko Table. We are practically on all platforms, folks. So give us a like. Give us a shout out. And don't forget to... what do they say in She-Hulk? What's a line from She-Hulk that she says?
I'll just say the leapfrog line.
Ribbit and rip it.
Stupid.
I liked it. Ribbit and rip it. Take care, folks. Catch you on the next one.